This is Andy Paroff, Boxing Social in association with Betfred, and I'm delighted to be joined by Matt Macklin here at the undercard press conference for Saturday night's main event between KSI and Logan Paul. But first, Matt, how are you doing?
Yeah, good, not bad. Looking forward to the fight Saturday now.
Well, that is it, and we'll try and get into it. One thing we should want to ask you, which I hadn't had a chance to ask you on Tuesday, was it, when I last saw you? I think it was the public workout. When I've looked over social media now, there seems to have been a bit more of a change in the perspective over the KSI and Logan Paul fight. Have you seen any kind of more of an openness from the boxing public at all towards this fight? What's been your perception of it when you've seen stuff?
No, I think a lot of people, I don't know what the right word is, feel annoyed or maybe even offended a little bit that two YouTube guys that have never boxed professionally are topping a card where you've got super talents on it like Billy Joe Saunders, reigning world champion, and also young Devin Haney, which I understand, but at the same time this card probably wouldn't be happening, certainly not at the Staples Centre and all the rest of it, without these two headlining it. It is what it is. We all know these aren't real fighters. Even though they've licensed professional boxers, they are making their pro debut. It's not really about that for them. I don't think either of them, whatever they may say, are realistically thinking of going on a professional boxing career after this fight. I just think it's it's like an encore of the white collar fight they had, really. But they want to do it with 10-ounce gloves over 6 rounds, as a professional boxing contest. It is what it is. We know what it is. I think it's a good boxing card. Billy Joe Saunders, big fights on the horizon for him. I think there's a lot of talk that he could probably get the Canelo fight, Cinco de Mayo next year. Obviously has to win. Would really strengthen his chances of getting that fight if he was to look really good. Devin Haney has been elevated to, from the final eliminator. He won that final eliminator. He's been nominated as he's the WBC champion now, and Lomachenko has been elevated to franchise champion, which you know what I think about that, but that's another conversation, isn't it? But nonetheless, Devin Haney's a real talent, 20 years old, unbelievable talent, probably going to be a future superstar in the sport. So I'm just looking forward to those fights. I'm looking forward to watching Devin Haney. I'm looking forward to watching Billy Joe and some of the really good prospects that are on the card. Espino, Habibi. There's some good fighters on this card, which I'm looking forward to. And the YouTube fight, I'll watch it with a bit of intrigue for what it is. It's a white collar fight under professional boxing rules. That's it. You can dress it up, but in their world, it's an event. These two guys have got big following. That'll be back and forth. I'm really talking about something that I know nothing about here when I'm talking about those two, because I don't know the YouTube world. But we've got to know them a little bit this week, hearing them talk. And my experience in white collar fights is they're usually really entertaining, because usually both guys aren't good enough to box each other, so they end up slugging it out, and it's usually a bit of a battle. And also, they don't have the gas in the tank to go about it properly, or the experience to pace themselves. So they usually end up pretty shattered after a couple of rounds. And when you're shattered and you don't know how to box, it's going to be a slugfest. So they're usually pretty entertaining. So from that point of view, I'm looking forward to it.
Just away from this card, there's obviously been a few things that just happened over the past few days. I want to start it off with the fight last night, the World Boxing Super Series final between Inoue-Donaire and Inoue-Donaire. Inoue becoming the unified world champion, victorious in that fight. Your thoughts on it? Did you manage to catch it?
No, didn't manage to catch it, but I've heard all the reports online that it was a ding-dong fight, great fight. Donaire at his age, what a credit to him, because Inoue, he's a little animal. He's one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world. But back in the day, Donaire was one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world. And he turned the clock back. Obviously, all right, he didn't get the win. But to go in there and put on a performance where, again, I'm reading it, I didn't see it, but to put on that performance, by all accounts, then he obviously turned the clocks back and put on a great performance. And credit to them, two great fighters.
I just wanted to move away from that one as well. And today the WBC have announced a new standard of clenbuterol testing, which basically means a high threshold will be allowed as a new standard of testing positive for the drug following Ray Vargas and Julio Cesar Martinez failing their drugs test. But over these past couple of days, with all that going on, what's your thoughts on the situation?
You know, I don't know enough about clenbuterol levels, you know, so I can't comment really. Yeah, I don't know.
What are your thoughts on the WBC's decision to increase the threshold that you're allowed to have in your system then?
No, well, there may be, again, I don't know, so I don't know enough about it, but maybe there's a case of you can pick up certain levels without taking, performance enhancers, without trying to cheat. You may well be able to pick up certain levels just by eating certain foods or whatever. I don't know what I'm talking about really when it comes to it. All I know is that it needs to be clarified, and it needs to be the research, the correct research needs to be done. You don't want a situation happening where a loophole is being created, for people that are using certain substances as masking agents to maybe hide, other things showing up in random drug tests. So I don't know enough about it, but you'd like to think there's no foul play and that it's just something that they've looked at, they've researched, they're acting under the guidance of the people that really know what they're talking about.
Well, Matt Macklin, I do appreciate your time as always. I think the main press conference is about to start, so if I can speak to myself and Boxing Social.
Cheers, nice one.